Question 1. Dividing with multiples of 10, 100 and 1000. In this nugget, the learning objective is to mentally divide with multiples of 10, 100 and 1000. Solving 20 divided by 5 is quite easy, but with this method, solving 200 divided by 5 and 2000 divided by 5 should be just as easy. You should be able to solve these calculations in your head. Let's start by dividing 20 by 5. You can probably do this in your head already, but we're just going to use a model that will help us when we move on to 200 divided by 5. So here we have 20 blocks and we need to divide them by 5. Split these 20 blocks into 5 groups. We get 4 in each group. So 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Now we're going to do 200 divided by 5. 200 is 10 times more than 20. Once again, we can split the 200 into 5 groups. There are 40 in this group. This is 10 times more than we had when we divided 20 by 5. There is an easy mental strategy to use when we don't have a model. To work out 200 divided by 5, we can make it easier by dividing the dividend by 10. Dividing 200 by 10 gives us 20. 20 divided by 5 equals 4 is much easier to work out. But remember, when you divide the dividend, you must also multiply the answer by the same number. So we multiply 4 by 10, which gives 40. So we have mentally calculated 200 divided by 5, which equals 40. When you have a go at the questions, you shouldn't need to write down these steps. You should be able to do them all in your head. Let's look at a slightly different example. In this case, instead of 200 divided by 5, we're going to do 200 divided by 50. When both the dividend and the divisor can be divided by the same number, in this case 10, we can divide both sides by the same number. So 200 divided by 10 is 20, and 50 divided by 10 is 5. So 200 divided by 50 becomes 20 divided by 5, which equals 4. In this case, as we have divided both the dividend and the divisor, we don't need to do anything else to the answer. Let's look at some different numbers. We need 210 divided by 30. 210 and 30 are both multiples of 10, so we can divide them by 10. This gives 21 divided by 3, which equals 7. Let's now look at 2,100 divided by 30. To work out 2,100 divided by 30, first we can divide both 2,130 by 10, 210 divided by 3. 210 is a multiple of 10, but 3 is not, so we can divide 210 by 10 again, but not 3. Divide 210 by 10 to get 21, giving 21 divided by 3 equals 7. We need to remember to multiply the answer by 10, because we only divided the dividend by 10. 7 times 10 equals 70. So 2,100 divided by 30 is 70. Now let's look at dividing a larger number. 35,000 divided by 500. We can see that both the dividend and the divisor are multiples of 100, so we can divide both by 100. This gives 350 divided by 5. We can divide 350 by 10, but we can't divide 5 by 10. So we'll need to remember to multiply the answer by 10. 350 divided by 10 is 35, so we can do 35 divided by 5, which equals 7. Then multiply 7 by 10 to give 70. Now it's your turn. Work out the answers to these questions. 350 divided by 5, 2,700 divided by 30. Remember, when you're solving these calculations, try to do them in your head without writing anything down. Pause the video and have a go. Now let's check the answers. For the first question, we can see that 350 is a multiple of 10, but 5 is not. So you should have divided 350 by 10 to get 35, giving a new calculation of 35 divided by 5 equals 7. As you divided only the dividend, you need to multiply the answer by 10. So well done if you did 7 times 10 to get 70. 350 divided by 5 equals 70. For the second question, we can see that both the dividend and the divisor are multiples of 10, so you should have divided both by 10. So 2,700 divided by 30 becomes 270 divided by 3. Next, 270 is a multiple of 10, but 3 is not, so you should have divided 270 by 10 to get 27, and a new calculation of 27 divided by 3, which equals 9. Then, you needed to multiply the answer by 10.